It's all cool, but I haven't got much guitar in the monitors and there's too much vibe.
My name's Mark. I run a night here in Newcastle called Endless Window. It's been going on for about 3 years now. Start of 2015 was when I first started putting gigs on, mainly kind of a monthly event, sort of the main Endless Window night. And since then, we've also branched out into other one-offs and regulars here and there. Coming up to our 4th year next February. I was going to say, the line feels kind of on this. I mean, I've sort of been in the local music scene for a while. Before that, I've been writing for local magazine, Narc, obviously attending a lot of gigs anyway. In particular, as a promoter that really inspired me, the County Vortex. I've been to a couple of events previously. I loved the way they sort of tied in the music with all these sort of, amazing artworks and sort of great decor they had. So that made me really interested in where you could sort of make a gig more than just a couple of bands, but have something that's linked, something that kind of makes it, I think, a bit more interesting, really stand out. I think in a way that's what I've tried to do with the kind of regular gig series that I put on. Well, I think most of all, it gives people an opportunity. It gives people an opportunity to sort of get her that isn't just going through a couple of the more obvious commercial or mainstream routes. It means you don't have to do this long sort of pay to play or do sort of crap support gigs where no one turns up to see. It means you can actually plug into a scene that is actually very supportive, where people are interested in new ideas, hearing things they haven't heard before, interested in people trying, taking a bit of a risk, which I think is absolutely vital. I think of all the sort of, really exciting music that's kind of Newcastle and has actually made an impact in the UK and outside of Newcastle over the last few years. I'm thinking like, Richard Dawson, Pigs. People like this, they've all come out of sort of a DIY circuit. They've not come out of being pushed by a label or by management. I think that's what the DIY scene does. It lets these really interesting different acts build their voice. Unfortunately, as much as you try, not every event can be a winner. There's a sense that it's always a little bit of a risk, I think, putting an event on, because there's so many things you can't control. What if the weather's really bad? What if this massive band everyone loves is playing 5 minutes away on the same night? You have to accept things that occasionally things aren't always going to go as you want. But generally, I think with Endless Window, we've been very lucky that there are enough people interested in the idea, interested in the kind of acts that we put on, that there's only been enough of a following to sustain us. So even if we've had 1 month maybe a little bit quiet and we've wanted, there's other months where it's been a really busy, fun night, great for the acts, sort of I've been able to sort of pay everyone off, which always helps. And it's self-sufficient, I think, by this point. I do think DIY in Newcastle is in a good place right now. There's always going to be challenges. Recently you've had, in the last year or two, a couple of really major venues for DIY music, Northumberland Arms and the Old Police House. For different reasons, they've both had to close down, which has been a blow in terms of, financial ability to sort of take on riskier bills. Also to have sort of, a venue that's willing to let people take the risks. That said, there are still a lot of people, I think, in Newcastle really pushing it as artists, as promoters, or just as people who love music and want to see exciting things happening in Newcastle.
My name's Jonathan Page and I put gigs on at the Butterfly Cabinet in Heaton under the title The Mothbox Sessions. Been involved with DIY gigs for about 2 years now. Started off putting them on at the Collingwood Arms and Jasmine, and then progressed doing them at the Butterfly Cabinet in Heaton. It's been really good so far.
Friends is fine, but I think you could use another kiss.
I think what inspired me to start putting them on was not being able to see people who I really wanted to see. It was just being dominated by bands and singer-songwriters, and not people who were doing stuff that I personally found more interesting. I think the intent's always just being to showcase the broader music scene in Newcastle and show people it's not just bands, and just getting more people involved in the music scene. I think my favourite spaces to put gigs on is places that have quite strong ties with the community, like the Collingwood's a little community pub, and then you've got the Butterfly Cabinet, which is sort of somewhere that everyone goes, meets up at and socialises at, so it makes it a lot easier when you're putting on gigs because people are familiar with the space and they like the space. I think there's a lot of people who I think are really, really cool and doing good stuff in the DIY scene. The last one I was at was Katie Mack putting on a gig at the Cumberland. That was really, really cool. It's all seating, it was just a nice vibe, the acts being picked really well. And then you get people putting on bands like Charlie Dancer when he put on the Pale White Jumping Jacks. That was really good, sold out. And when you get people doing it from a DIY point of view and you see them selling out venues, it's just great. I think the scene's definitely flourishing in Newcastle because of DIY gigs. Without them, I just think we'd be stuck with, it's hard to say really. I just can't imagine Newcastle without DIY. I think DIY gigs in Newcastle are really, really important, because I think without them we'd just be left with, just big touring bands, and I think without them you don't have the smaller little gigs that you get. There's no other real way of doing it without it being DIY.
Jobs below my means, and I feel like my life is a low budget indie movie. It's not like I struggle to make my ends meet. It's just a one open cross, and it doesn't matter. I could do something so much better. But you walk round town, same old sweater.